Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Alex Driscoll again from Sweet Georgia Sports, and today is episode 4 in my Braves Toma Talk series. And what I'm talking about today is the fan base. Braves Nation, Braves Country, chill the crap out, okay? Look, I know we're 8-12, and we got swept by the Phillies, and we got swept by the Nationals, and everybody was losing their minds over the weekend. But just stay calm, just stay patient, please. Don't get so upset saying that Dansby needs to be sent down to AAA, or I saw somebody say on Instagram the other day that John Coppolella and John Hart need to be fired in the front office, needs to have a massive shakeup. No, that doesn't need to happen. No, not at all. I mean, in 2017, we weren't expected to contend anyways. At best, I said we're supposed to be a second wild card team, and usually that second wild card spot goes to a team that's just barely over 500 or is 500 in a very, very competitive league like the National League, and also a very competitive division like the National League East this year. But with that being said, just chill out. The Braves aren't going to make the playoffs. We shouldn't have been expecting that in the first place. Because, again, I'll say it again, they were at best a second wild card team. Yeah, we won 68 games last year and looked really, really good in the last 30 games. We were 20-10 over our last 30 games last year. And we looked really, really good at the end of last year. But with that being stated, the expectation for this year, for the front office, and for what should have been the consensus of all Braves fans was, hey, we just need to improve from 68 wins. Let's just try to get to 500 at best. And hey, maybe if we sneak in the second wild card spot, then great. That is above expectations. Let's just keep improving. Let's maybe let's improve from 68 wins to 78 wins to 80 wins. Somewhere in that area. Let's just try to improve and stay at least competitive and put a good brand of baseball out there. That's what the expectation, at least for me, was. I don't know about what the other Braves fans were in Braves country, but it seems as they thought we were going to be a playoff team and contend for the East. No, we're not. No, we were not. Not at all. One, we didn't have the pitching to do it, especially in the bullpen. And then two, you can't expect the offense to be what it was for year-round like it was the last 30 games of the season last year. I mean, you can't expect that for 162 games a year. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. Baseball is an evening out type of game. 2 to 3 weeks you're going to be on fire. The next 2 to 3 weeks you're probably going to be ice cold. It's just an evening out process. But this isn't that bad of a team when you really look at it. We're 12th in Major League Baseball in batting average at 249. That's 7th in the National League. Runs scored, it could be a bit better, but then again, Matt Kemp was hurt for 10 days, or actually 10 plus days, and he was probably he was expected to be the main run producer, and yeah, he whiffed on his chances in the first game against the Mets, but he really started heating up before he got hurt, and he was looking to become the main run producer. And when he got hurt, the offense really struggled up until we got to SunTrust Park, and the offense started really coming around. But for runs scored, we're only at 80, and that's 24th best in Major League Baseball and 13th in the NL. So with the offense, I don't want to say it's been bad luck. It has been and it hasn't been. I mean, with Matt Kemp going out when he was so hot, that was kind of a bad luck type of thing. But then it was kind of a next man up type of thing with Ender Inciarte coming on with his tear at SunTrust Park against the Padres. Freddie Freeman is swinging the bat like he's an MVP candidate, which he should be if he keeps putting up these numbers like he has. But now going into the pitching, we are 21st in Major League Baseball with an ERA of 4.13 and 9th in the National League with that ERA. And the thing with the pitching, the starting pitching, hasn't been that bad. It's much better than it was last year, and it hasn't been that bad. The main thing with pitching is it's been the bullpen. The bullpen is woeful. They're terrible. That was one of my main concerns coming out of the offseason and going into spring training, was the bench and then the bullpen. I mean, we really didn't do anything in the offseason to bolster that bullpen to get it any better. I mean, the only thing we did was basically extend Jim Johnson, and we kind of overpaid for him because he had a solid year, but he's not the 2012 to 2013 version of Jim Johnson that was so ridiculously good in Baltimore. That's not who he is anymore. I mean, the bullpen has just been woeful, except for Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez has been lights out. Going back to not bolstering the bullpen, which we should have done. Ortiz Vizcaíno basically fell flat coming down the stretch last year. Who was it? Mauricio Cabrera. He's gotten hurt. He'll look to be back in the next couple of months. He'll be a good addition to the bullpen because he's a flamethrower. He does have control issues, but it looks like he's gotten those squared away. And Eric O'Flaherty, he's not the guy that we saw in 2011, 2012 when it was him, Venters, and Kimbrel that were 7, 8, 9 consistently, night in and night out. But that's one of the main things, was the bullpen's been woeful, and you can't just blame the whole team when the bullpen has been terrible. This is a good baseball team. Yeah, it's not a playoff team, but they are still a very good ball club. It's just the bullpen's fault. And to keep going with that idea, we are 10th in Major League Baseball in fielding, and 5th in the National League in fielding with a .985 fielding percentage. So everybody's doing their job except the bullpen. So just Braves fans, just stay calm. You just blow up at the bullpen. That's fine. Just don't blow up on John Hart and Job Capalella. They are doing their jobs. I mean, we weren't expected to contend this year anyways. Again, I'll say it again till I'm blue in the face. At best, the Braves were probably going to be the second wild card team this year. We're not our year of contention is probably going to be 2019, 2020, when guys like Ronald Acuna, Mike Soroka, Colby Allard, Austin Riley, when all those guys that were on the low A team last year that got named Baseball America's Minor League Team of the Year, basically when those guys are ready, that's when we're going to start contending. That's when we're starting to be really, really good. So, again, Braves fans, just calm down, be patient. Don't blow up on Hart and Capalella. They are doing their jobs to the very best of their abilities and what they've been given. And our year of contention isn't until 2019 to 2020. So please stay patient and don't blow up. Don't call the team a disgrace. They're not a disgrace. They weren't supposed to contend this year anyway. We're supposed to contend in 2019 and 2020. And I'll just leave it at that. So Braves fans, just please calm down. Stay patient. Don't rush it. Don't put the cart before the horse, is basically what this whole video was, and basically this whole rant was about. But anyway, if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below what your feelings right now are toward the front office and about the Braves right now. If you like all the other stuff at Sweet Georgia Sports, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. I think we're on Facebook now. So just look up Sweet Georgia Sports on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any social media. We'll be there for all your Atlanta sports and Georgia sports needs. So with that being said, I've been Alex Driscoll for Sweet Georgia Sports, saying God bless and chop on, Atlanta.